Hey, we ain't played that in a while.
Oh no, 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 we haven't. No, 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 we haven't.
We're gonna have something. We're
Mm.
gonna have something new here coming soon, y'all. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Hold on, let me just sip my tea right quick. Welcome to the Heavy Hitters. I am your host, as you already know. I am K Styles, aka Styles Lansky in this mother. To my stage left, as you know him as the mad scientist, Bad Mike Luciano.
What's happening?
And right below him, as y'all already know, it is the calm before the storm.
I'm
It
calling him Tony Danza right now. If you're old school, you'll get that.
not totally dancing.
Nah, he doing his do this right now. That's all.
That's all good. That's all good. Yep, yep, yep. And right below me, we have the icon.
I am the Don. I don't need a mafia name. My name speak for itself. Y'all already know.
Mm,
And I'm back and I'm fatter because I'm eating some banana pudding right now. Spike banana pudding, by the way.
yeah, yeah. Make
All
sure,
right,
make sure.
that was waiting for. That's what we was waiting.
Hey man, so you got a six man, you got a mad scientist, you got a minister and a don, all on one shirt. Yeah,
Mm.
this is why. That's what that is one hell of a group. But
Mm-hmm.
today is a very fun. This is gonna be a very fun episode, as we already know. The heavy hitters every Wednesday at 9 o'clock. Like I said, if you're not subscribed to it, like you said, just make sure you go hit that subscribe button. It is free, and let the people know the heavy hitters is where you need to be for the 2024 NFL season. So let's go ahead and show some love to the people. Is what we call the what, Mike?
Roll call. Roll call. Some of y'all get that.
Yeah. And today's roll call, we're going to kick it off with Sherman Wood, Smooth C78, King Treyway, Mucho, Grundy, Auntie Pam in the building. Hi, Auntie Pam.
All right.
Hey,
We got Tony Hall, Christy Lewis, Maurice Martin.
Hello, Chrissy.
You got Jerome in the house. Watch your mouth without a doubt. 69. Georgia, Texas boy. Let's say Dre Woods, Eugene Benzinger. Oh man,
what's
Q
good, G?
Youngblood. Hey man,
I
definitely
want to
shout
make
out to
so many
G.
jokes about that last name, Benzinger, but I really don't
Shut
have
up,
any.
Mike. Shut up, Mike. We're not doing that. We got Nathan Floyd. We got one of the OG listeners of the show. Mr. Jarvis Williams in the building, y'all. JB.
What's going on, Sarge?
Oh, chicken holla. Appreciate y'all coming in, man. So make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like button. That's like whatever the hell y'all want to do. At the end of the day, it all goes well for the channel. Mike, Don, Jew, how y'all doing this evening, fellas?
I'm
I'm
doing
great.
good. Like, we sounding at the same time.
No, I just got a text that said a one bedroom apartment in Willfield Lindbergh. I'm like, who the fuck is that? For a hundred, a thousand and $1,150. I'm like, what the hell is Willowfield Lindbergh? What the fuck is that?
I know
Willowfield
what
Lindbergh.
Lindbergh at, but
Yeah, right.
We know Lindbergh. Let me see. You said Willowfield Lindbergh.
It's probably over there by Lindbergh Center.
No,
What's good?
yeah, but I can't place it. But yeah, anyway, that just came out of nowhere. I'm like, I think I'm pretty good, but hmm.
Yeah, I'm good, man. What's good, Gene? Ben Zinger, like, he been on the show. He tried to come on tonight, but he have some internet issues where he living at.
Oh, that's Big Gene. Oh, dang.
That big
Okay.
Gene. Yeah. But yeah, I know some people are talking about so they want some banana pudding and stuff, but hey,
Nah, you don't want that amount of banana pudding. Okay.
yeah, I do.
I got a question for everybody since we there. Who eats banana pudding without the bananas?
I know I
Me?
know I don't. I know I
Somebody that don't eat banana pudding like me.
See, look, I know everybody don't eat bananas, so I'm asking who doesn't eat banana puddings without the banana because I like that's kind of
Now here's my
uh
thing. I when I make it, when I make it for myself, I don't put the bananas in it. But if I make it for other people, I put it in there. But I make different versions of it. Like if I make it for everybody else, I gotta be bougie with it. I gotta get the chestnut cookies, and I make the pudding from scratch with the egg yolks. But if I make it myself, I want something quick in a hurry. I just get the Jello, pudding, milk.
oh,
never
So
mind, never
uh,
mind. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna
Mucho,
leave it
hold on,
alone.
like, look, Mucho, hold on, man. We getting right
we
into it.
hear you. We hear you.
We getting right into it. We getting right into it. We having a little food fatty moment right now.
Mhm.
We got to have
Yeah,
it.
yeah, if y'all haven't seen the food review from done on the heavy hitters, check that out, man.
I
We're doing
probably
review reviews over here, so you might see some interesting things. So
I'll probably do another food review this Sunday. I don't know where I'm gonna go, but I'm just gonna be like the Toucan Sam and follow my nose, I guess.
Hey, man. But like I said, I definitely want to go ahead and give a shout out to Will the Georgia Reaper and the ladies of AFN for covering the 53-man roster. That's the Ladybirds of AFN and everything Atlanta sports on the AFN channel. So if y'all haven't seen those two shows, y'all make sure y'all definitely recap. But let's go ahead and get right into it, man. As y'all already know, the main news that everybody is talking about right now is your boy Taylor Heineke has been traded to the LA Chargers for a conditional sixth round pick.
thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you.
Amanda.
Yeah, T Red.
Teacher Red.
Um,
Don like whatever. I still ain't gonna do it.
like I said, I make different versions of it. I just made one that I like to eat. So we ain't finna go back into that. We talking about Taylor Heineke right now.
So So I find it that it was very interesting that they waited until they set the 53 before they pulled this move. So I wanted to get everybody's thoughts on it. What do you think? Why do you think they waited till after the roster was set to pull it? So, Mike, I'm gonna let you go ahead and run point on this, man. What do you think is the reasoning behind this? Because I find it interesting.
Well, first of all, I thought the Atlanta Falcons obviously would keep him on the roster. That was my initial take as far as the quarterback position is wrong. So obviously I was wrong about that. Um, could have ended up trading him. But if you saw my rant and recap of the the preseason game where he played, I was pretty disgusted by his play because I basically thought he played. For a guy that's a veteran, it was clear to me it's like there was no fire, no energy. It just looked like he was already gone. And obviously we see now that that was the case. So without spoiling too many takes, I'll just kind of keep it at that. Um, yeah, I pretty much just you know he quit in my eyes. So now I guess we see why he quit.
Mm, okay. Drew, what you got on this, man? Cause like I said, kind of based off of where Mike was going with it, as far as it looked like he kind of quit during the preseason, during a couple of the games that he played. But like I said, it's interesting that they still set him on the 53 just to trade him to LA. What's your thoughts on that, man?
Yeah, I didn't see this coming. I thought he was going to be on the team, just for depth purposes. But I was looking at the Falcons' final whistle. I be listening to Tori McElhaney, and they were talking about the 53-man roster. And Tori actually mentioned when I was watching it earlier that he could have possibly be a player that would be traded. But she said like later on in the season, like if another team's quarterbacks were to go down, maybe they kept him on the roster for as trade bait basically. And
Mm,
evidently they already had something in the works. So I mean, I think it's a good thing because think about it: either cut him and get nothing for him, or cut him and get a sixth
Mhm,
round pick. I'll take the draft pick
mhm.
because he was like the only way he plays, he would have been like Mr. Glass. Break the glass if everything go wrong. He wasn't gonna see the field. Like literally, Kirk Cousins
Why'd you
did.
tell everybody why you saying that though? Tell
I mean, I've already went through this with Taylor Heineke. Like, I don't want to go back down that road. I don't want to. I don't want to go back down that road. But I'm gonna say this: he wasn't gonna see the field, man. He wasn't gonna see the
that man
field.
is not
So
a he's not a Taylor Heineke fan at all. I'll say it for him. Yeah.
yeah. I really, to be honest with you, I don't really have anything against him. I just think that he's not a quality starter. I think he's a good third string, or playing second fiddle.
Mhm.
Like you need somebody for like 1 or 2 games. Okay, yeah, throw him in. You know what I'm saying? We seen what he did in that Tennessee game. Like when you don't game plan
Mhm.
for him, he was torching. If you guys remember when he got in
Yeah.
against Tennessee, he came in on fire because they hadn't game plan for him. But it's like
Mhm.
once you game plan for him, it's a wrap. So that's why I said I really feel like it would be like a break the glass type situation. Like literally, Kirk Cousins, Penix will have to go down, and then it's like we have nobody else to turn to. Now throw Taylor in there. So at this point, I mean, it shows that he has some value because Jim Harbaugh, he wants him. The Chargers want him over there to be the backup for Herbert. So he's a veteran guy. I just felt like, I mean, get something for him or get nothing for him. So I'll take the 6th round pick, but I didn't see it coming because literally, we're not even 24 hours outside of, the 53-man roster, and this man is already being traded. So I really feel like that was a strategic move. Like they knew that other teams probably were calling saying like, hey, after they did they cuts, what y'all doing with Taylor Heineke? Because we know he's not y'all backup because y'all got Penix. So, and they probably like, okay, let's just stash him on the roster so we can get something for him, which is smart business, to be honest.
mm, right. All right, Don. So the question is now, do the Falcons roll into the season with just two quarterbacks, or do you think that they have some undrafted uh, clipboard holder they got playing?
Well, I'm gonna get to your question in a minute, and let me piggyback off what they said. So, everybody who a Georgia fan, don't talk shit about Michigan ever again because the Michigan man literally took this piece of trash off our roster. So, go blue. Your reigning defending 2023 national champions, Michigan Wolverines.
I
All
dig
right.
this news. just gonna say
Anyway,
Michigan
but
for some reason.
I think we'll probably sign someone. Um, I know we released Paddock. I don't know where he's at right now. They could very well just sign him back as a third string guy, or they can just fill it with another person because right now we at 52 people right now. So I'm surprised when I looked at the practice squad guys, I didn't see a couple of players that I thought that could have made it, but hey, it is what it is. So,
Okay. That's what you got on that one.
but yeah, like I just think I don't think it's safe to go into the season with two quarterbacks. We know, um, excuse me, we know, Penix Jr. You know he's a rookie, and we know he's behind Cousins. Cousins just came off an injury, so it's not wise to just go in with two quarterbacks. You got to sign somebody. It don't have to be somebody who's been a journeyman quarterback throughout the past several years. It can really be somebody who's been in the league a couple of years, or the USL, the United States Football League. Bring them in as a third guy. Vlad just brought up a good point. Bring back Ritter, and I've been seeing that float around the past couple of hours of people saying that we can bring Ritter back, but I don't know about that. I won't oppose that. It's a third string guy, so it's just an insurance policy.
Go ahead, Mike. What you got?
All I'm gonna say, y'all better hope and pray to God for y'all sake that they don't bring Ritter back.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You can
Oh
hate
man.
me now. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say right there.
But there you go. Three Dirty ads. Was it better to cut him or trade him? I kind of follow the consensus of what you said. You'd rather get something for him and pay that dead cap hit than having to pay that dead cap hit and get nothing for him. So it's like you said, it's a conditional six. So I don't know what the conditions are per se yet because I haven't read into it. But
Doesn't this also replace the fifth or sixth pick that we got taken away from the Kirk Cousins negotiations?
I think so.
Yeah, so
Well,
we pretty much getting the extra pick back from that, so that's good.
so Taylor Heineke got our pit back.
You lose a pick.
Whoa.
You lose a pick. You lose a pick from getting the quarterback, and you gain the pick from getting rid of one. So hey, that's cool.
Yeah, but like I would say here, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a gamble to go into the season with two quarterbacks because we've seen this before. Um, it's just gonna be depend on who or what if they go the two quarterback route, who are they gonna replace it with? Who's gonna get that spot right there? Because once we start getting into this 53, like you said, it was a bunch of noticeable things that I saw that told me a lot. Like you said, it could be another wide receiver because on that roster we only got 5 wide receivers. We got 4 running backs. We got 9 offensive linemen, 9 defensive linemen.
I think
The
5.
trenches. Let's go.
Chrissy said I sound low. Nah, that's probably the just waking up itis that I had about 20
Mm-hmm.
minutes ago. Yeah, that's what that is. Are we good? We good now? Do I need to yell? Do I need to yell?
Yeah,
Do I
go ahead. Yeah, tick. Yeah. Go.
do I need a rebel yell? Do I need a rebel yell?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we cool. All right. But yeah, what are they going to replace? What are they going to replace that spot with if they don't go with a third quarterback? We don't know. We gonna see. But hey, they set and ready to go for 2024. How about that, y'all? Damn, that felt good. The season is right around the corner, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, since I kind of gateway straight into that, I wanted to ask the fellas up here, and I want to ask everybody that's watching: were there any surprises? Were there any surprises from this 53 announcement that y'all looked at and said, "Hmm, damn"? And I'm gonna let you go ahead and run point on this one. With any surprises for you?
My biggest surprise would be Micah Abernathy, because I thought that Kevin King was the guy that, because he has the experience, he's a veteran guy. He played well during the preseason with the interception in the first game. He has a relationship with Jerry Gray, who's the assistant head coach and the defensive backs coach. I thought that he
Mm-hmm.
would be a guy that was like a lock to make the 53 just because he played really well. And they were using him like as a safety. They were moving him around. So I was like, okay, he probably gonna make the roster. I know that they said that like they liked what Abernathy was doing, but I was surprised that he made the roster over Kevin King, because Kevin King, to me, he showed up, like he was making plays out there. So I just knew like he gonna be on the 53 just because he has the familiarity with the coaching staff, and being that he's one of those guys that played really well. So that was probably the biggest surprise when I seen his name on the release. Even though he's on the practice squad, I just knew that he would be a part of the 53-man roster. I thought he would get the edge over Abernathy, but that just shows me that Abernathy, one thing that I noticed about this roster is, in case Styles will love this, they value special teams in on this roster. You seen the D'Angelo
Yeah,
Malone,
boy.
you seen the Abernathys. I really feel like it was more about those guys are really good special teams guys. So because they value all three phases of the ball, they're like, okay, we're gonna keep these guys on, even if they're specialists. But I'll say Kevin King was the biggest like surprise cut, like that didn't make the 53.
I I want to say something about Abernathy. I he had Abernathy also has been working with Jerry Gray for some years now too. Because remember he was on the practice squad in Minnesota in 2019, and then he played in Green Bay in 2022, the last year when Gray was there. So I think he's a project guy for Jerry Gray. And I think with King's situation is more of his injuries, and I think he reached his ceiling of his development. Abernathy, we don't know what he could be. You know, we know he can be a serviceable um, backup in the safety spot, but also I think they thinking of probably money situation as well too, because King will probably would he be accounted for more money for us signing him over Abernathy. So it
Mm,
could have came down. It could have came down to two things: the money and also special teams as well.
mm. So Micah Abernathy is listed as safety. I don't know
Hmm.
if that's necessarily the what. So would you think that? Well, all the safeties are really interchangeable, so I wouldn't necessarily
Yeah,
say that he's the backup strong or free safety. He's gonna be the backup whatever the hell they need him for.
because hell, we done seen Hughes. Hughes was lined up as a safety at one point. There's some
Right,
snaps last year, so it depends
right,
on what formation they trying to run and who they
right,
playing up against.
right. So for those that may not have seen, um, well, they still got the quarterback thing. So like you said, so we can X-nay on the Taylor Heineke part, but like you said, right now quarterback. Kirk Cousins. We got Michael Penix Jr. Now, this was kind of the surprise for me right here was the 4 running backs. But it kind of go what you said about special teams because we know about Avery Williams' special teams history. And that is a valuable asset. That's been a valuable asset for this Falcon team for the last few years. So as you see the running backs position, Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, Avery Williams, Jason McClellan. Got 5 wide receivers. Drake London, Darnell Mooney, Ray McLeod, Cordero Hodge, Casey Washington. You got tight ends Kyle Pitts, Charlie Warner, Ross Dwelly. Here's another surprise right here. Jade Matthews, Matthew Bergeron, Drew Dahlman, Chris Lestrom, Caleb McGarry, Ryan Newsel, Kyle Hinton, Storm Norton, Jovan Gwynn. Man, that's 9 offensive linemen. Now we got 9 defensive linemen, as we already speculated and knew. Grady Jarrett and David Onyemata, Taquan Graham, Zach Harrison. Eddie Goldman done made it through a damn preseason. So now he's officially Eddie Goldman over here
About to
again.
choke the shit out of Dunn over there.
That caught him off guard. Huh?
Man, I'm over here drinking my Skittles drink, man, and I like
that shit caught him off guard. I was looking like, yeah, Eddie Goldman made it through a whole off season and actually stayed, which asked the question: was it him or was it Offer?
I want to know what you have to say about Eddie Goldman. Why did he was it really mental health or was it a certain coach? Jew. No. I want to hear Jew. I want to hear Jew right quick.
Mike don't want to hear Mad Jew. He don't want to hear Mad Jew.
No. For those that don't know, Mad Jew, it's Chicago Red.
It's Chicago Red.
They don't want to hear Chicago Red come out. Nah, go ahead, Jew.
Nah, I'm agitated you just a little bit. That's all.
No, it's actually funny. Y'all got to go look at. I think it was Bijan Robinson. I think who was. Mike put something on his Facebook, but it was like an interview that he did, and he talked about Arthur Smith or talked about the new coaching staff actually listening to the players. So I was like, and I was going back and forth talking to Mike about it. We were going back and forth about it, but yeah, it was just like a joke. But yeah, man, I mean, these players are saying a lot of stuff, and it sounds like it was a lot of stuff underneath, behind the scenes that was going on with the former coaching staff, but they saying it in these interviews, but they ain't saying no names. All we gotta say is, he who should not be said. We know who you're referring to. All of them are going or beating around the bush, but they're not saying any particular names. But we know he ain't here anymore. So at this point, it's just like, yeah, man, it's sad, but they are saying stuff without saying stuff. So it's like subliminal, but we know where they're going with it.
So pretty much there was. I'll say like I said, yeah, because I'm one of those that I like to read in between the lines. So pretty much they said that Offer was an asshat, and they pretty much got sick of his shit.
But also you got to take into account too with Goldman, Casey Rogers. He has a long history with Casey Rogers, the D-line coach.
Yeah, that is true too. That is definitely true. But the fact that Eddie Goldman stayed, it like you said, that's where it kind of brings that question up too. Like
the coaching, and like the Casey Rogers know Goldman well. He knows that he's not a spring chicken anymore. You can't have him out there, doing every rep in practice. Like, dude's been playing over 10 years now.
Right.
So
gotta take into account that they are older. So it's like,
mhm,
no, you're not taking it easy on them. It's like
yeah,
as veteran players, and that's the thing with coaching too. You have to understand. It's like, all right, guys, not 25 anymore. Okay, so I know you want your players to be tough, but ways you can do that. Like if you, I'm gonna just say it like this. All right, we're in a new generation right now when it comes down to players. All right, you can't yell, scream, and be strict on players the way that you used to. Uh, I just saw Juan sent me this video with what the damn special team coach
you talking
I
about
think
Armstrong?
no Armstrong, yeah,
Yeah.
Armstrong. Like Armstrong is one of those guys like he getting your hate, right? He get into it and he yell, he scream, and he really getting these players. And not everybody, not all these players can take that type. Like to be honest, I'm the type of I'm the type of player. I'm the type of person behind the scenes. Like I'm interchangeable. It's like once I get to a level, it's like all right, you get a complete asshole out of me. It's like there ain't no more Mr. Nice Guy and all that type of stuff. And like even though I can adjust to certain things, some coaches can't adjust. And I think that's the thing with Arthur. He can't adjust. You gonna do it his way or you getting out of there. And a lot of that shit, bro, plays the wrong way. And as a coach today, this is why I like Kirby. Kirby can adjust. Guys like Jim Harbaugh, that's why he can recruit so well. These guys can, John Harbaugh, these guys can recruit so well because they can adjust to the time. And I think that's the thing in today's coaching that you have to have that ability to adjust to the time. And some people just have a hard time adjusting. They want to do it their way.
I have a question though. So last year we had Calais Campbell, and they didn't really do too much with him in the practices and preseason. So why did they put a lot of stress and work
Because
on
Calais ain't gonna have that. That's simple as
That's the
that.
thing. I know. So it was more of a favoritism type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a more of a recruiting situation with Calais because Calais told them prior to coming here what his expectations were. So they already knew what time that was.
Mm-hmm.
He's either
Yeah.
play ball or else.
Yep.
Right. But we still got some old names here, like you said, Catavia Street, Walter Roo Roo Roo, Brandon Dorless,
Ooh.
and James Smith Williams. We have 8 linebackers. We got Judon, Lorenzo Carter. Now, you need to get on. You need to get on camera. You need to do that. We need you need to do that for the
Yeah,
people.
I'm gonna do it after every sack this year. I'm gonna be doing the proverbial nose swipe. You know, every time he get a sack, his new nickname is Swiper. Jude the
Swiper,
Swiper. Every
swipe,
time the proverbial
swiper,
nose swipe is coming with the red sleeves. I might need to give me some
swiper,
red
no swipe.
sleeves.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody gonna be buying red long sleeve shirts before the season
Yeah.
starts. I mean, fall is coming up soon, so it would make sense as well. As we know with the linebackers, Arnold Ebiketie, D'Angelo Malone, Caden Ellis, Troy Anderson, Nate Lamon, J.D. Bertrand. So
The linebacker core just looks so beautiful. It just looks so nice.
go ahead, reiterate on that. Don, why do you say it looks so beautiful?
Just look at the depth. Like, you look at the outside linebackers. Lorenzo, this man been highly serviceable for us for the past few years.
Mm-hmm.
Judon, we already know what we got out of him. Ebiketie, we still trying to get the best out of him. We know what he capable of. It just let's see how he's gonna play under this new coaching staff. And then D'Angelo Malone, still another project pass rusher we've been trying to work with as well. Inside linebacker core. Do we really, outside of JD Bertrand, who's the rookie, do we really need to speak that much on Caden Ellis, Troy Anderson, and Nate Lemon. That's solid. That's a solid core right there. A solid core.
Yeah, that is true. Mm. What you think of that? What do you think about that, Mike? What does that linebacker course show you?
Um, versatility. Um, I think it comes down to versatility, man. It's like those guys are very versatile up front. You can put those guys in either one of the linebacker positions, and I think that's the best thing to have when you have guys like Troy, Nate, um, Caden Ellis. You can put those guys inside and outside, and for the most part, three of those guys in the linebacker, like you can put those in the middle, and they, like Don said, they can be pretty serviceable. They can be pretty consistent as far as coverage is concerned. So, uh,
Yeah, that is true.
yeah,
But um, yeah. But I'm gonna go off and say, Jew said it earlier about D'Angelo Malone. I know that's kind of like one of the surprise that everybody thought was gonna be cut, but he ended up staying on the team. Like you said, special teams is. Well, let me say this one more time for the people that ain't listening to me. Special teams is a very
Mhm.
important part of the game.
I mean Justin Fields know that because that's what he's gonna be playing in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like,
Especially,
can we really call this inside outside linebackers? Because like I said, you essentially have up to 6 to 7 guys who are natural pass rushers.
yeah, Caden Ellis can pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
Troy Anderson can pass rush. JD Bertrand in Notre Dame, he pass rushed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, mm, that I say it's gonna be interchangeable. How they gonna play those 8 guys, especially on third and longs.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly.
I would not be surprised you see Judon, Zoe, um, Ebby Katie, and Caden Ellis out there in a certain
Right.
formation in a NASCAR formation. So
I mean, like you said, just going back looking that for
I'm sorry. Let me mute myself.
oh Lord, but I find it interesting that for a team that's kind of running a 3-4 base defense, that's a
Mm,
lot of defensive linemen to have on the team. That
yeah.
you would think. And like I said, you will see between 6, 7 on average.
But you got to think about you got 2 types of 3-4 defenses. You got a 3-4 base and you got a 3-4 heavy against runs.
Mm-hmm.
So you may very well see like in a heavy set, you're gonna see a guy like Eddie Goldman, Kentavious Street,
Oh,
and David Amiyata. They may be your 3 guys up front to stop the
Okay.
run.
Okay. Yeah, cause like you said, by looking at this list, you have a mixture of run stoppers and pass rushers
And then
in this
also
group
too,
right here.
yeah. Then also too, your D line they are more prone to get injured and need time. They also need to be rotated out sometimes too. So that's good to have enough D linemen. Excuse me.
Mm, okay.
Mm.
I just wanted to say that so let Don show off his coaching prowess and let us know why they have 9 defensive linemen. So we appreciate that. And going back to the corners, as you said, AJ Terrell, Mike Hughes, D. Alford, Clark Phillips, Antonio Hamilton Sr. We already talked about the safety, so here's where we're going with the corners. So it's I want to let Mike give me his thoughts on this. So what it looks like to me is they're going to be rolling with Mike Hughes as the second corner opposite of AJ Terrell. Now, I know a lot of fans are kind of question marking that decision in itself because everybody usually would think that either they was going to get a major corner in free agency or they was going to draft one or they was going to let Clark Phillips be that. What's your take on that, man? How you feel about that?
Uh, uh, no, I'm just playing.
Hot tool and spin on that thing. But
Yeah. That's for somebody in the comment section. So when you look at our corners, man, and our DBs, to be honest, like they're gonna be more physical than they're gonna be more physical than we expect, and that's why you guys want uh Mike Hughes, a Justin Simmons, and the thing what people don't realize, Justin Simmons and Jesse Bates, those guys, they roam around the field. They're not just conventional safety. They come up and they support the runs. And Jesse Bates has always been there. I know a lot. I've been saying some foolish comments saying that he's not a tackler. I don't know where you guys are getting y'all stuff, but y'all need to tell that supply to stop spiking it, okay? Because that's not true. Jesse Bates is one of the most complete DBs in the game, okay, and that's why he got paid for. And Cincinnati defense is they definitely missing him. All right, they definitely missing him. So when you got a corner like AJ Terrell, also he's gonna travel for the most part to your best receiver. Um, and Clark Phillips is one of those guys you can move him around. He plays better in the middle of the field anyway. And then you got Richie Grant. He's a guy that can play as a rover slash uh, um, fourth corner and whatnot in certain types of defense and being a little bit more physical. So the Falcons have so many ways that they attack with their DBs and match up with their DBs. Excuse me, they can match up with their DBs. So it's like the addition of Simmons just made this one of the most difficult teams. You have to be real specific of how you want to attack the defense now because they got guys everywhere. Like you just solely can't pick on one particular guy anymore when you got a guy like Jesse Bates and Simmons, and now you got Richie Grant roaming around, and that's where he's at best when he's roaming around underneath. So
okay,
it's gonna be hard, man.
okay. All
Yeah.
right, Drew. So I have a question for you, Drew. By looking at, and we're gonna go back to the offense here too, but I want to mainly focus on the defense here. So by looking at this defense here and how they have this set, do you think that based on how this roster looking on defense, do you think that they're setting up more blitz and pressure packages?
Most
Basically,
definitely.
what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is, are we gonna have an aggressive style of defense this year, based on what you're seeing on this roster?
Yeah, it's gonna be a very aggressive defense. Very aggressive. I feel like a lot of zone, and I talked about this a little bit on what's the word yesterday. I really feel like it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be a lot of simulated pressures, a lot of zone where the guys are able to read the quarterback's eyes, keep everything in front of them. And I really expect this team to be a team that tackles well. The biggest surprise to me was, and I made a short about Mike Hughes. I was very shocked to see him get the start over Clark Phillips at the on the outside. I don't know if they're still looking at Clark Phillips' size, but I really feel like another thing that I seen Coach Raheem Morris say in one of his like press conferences is that all of these guys are starters. He said, don't focus on like who's listed as a starter. Because as you heard Mike just saying a minute ago, you're gonna be able to rotate these guys based on matchups. So I really feel like it's gonna be a very aggressive defense, very aggressive. Y'all was talking about the linebacking core. One thing I love about our linebacking core is that they're kind of old school linebackers in the fact that our inside linebackers are downhill linebackers. So we kind of going away from the Deion Joneses, the smaller linebackers that were just mainly sideline to sideline. Deion Jones could play downhill, but he was not the biggest guy. And I really feel like one thing that I loved about watching that linebacking crew last year, uh, especially the inside linebackers, is Troy Anderson, Caden Ellis. They play downhill all the time. Like they don't hesitate. Like I said, if they wrong, they gonna just be wrong, but they gonna shoot their gun. They coming downhill, and I think that that's very important as a linebacker, especially just because you want to impose your will on the opponent. And I feel like in the past, some of the linebackers that we had, they were too afraid to make mistakes, and they were always second guessing themselves instead of just playing free and using, relying on their instincts. And I really feel like that's what these linebackers do best. They just rely on their instincts. Nate Landman is not the most athletic guy. Even Caden Ellis is not the most athletic guy. Troy Anderson is probably the most athletic out of our inside linebackers, but you wouldn't be able to tell that Nate Landman and those guys are not as athletic as the guys we've had in the past because they just play fast and they play downhill. So I really feel like it's going to be a very aggressive defense. But as Mike talked about the versatility, looking at our roster, you're not going to be able to tell like on certain down and distances what each guy is going to be like is going to do on that particular play because we got so many guys that can do so many different things. You can drop Matt Judon in the flat. I seen him do that in New England, where
Right.
you would think he's the premier pass rusher. You're gonna automatically assume on third down, okay, Judon's coming from the edge. He might be the guy dropping in the flat, so you never know. So I think this is going to be a very fun defense because you got guys that can do a lot of different things. And I think that's the biggest thing with the Jesse Bates and Simmons thing that I love most is now you don't have to worry about, we all were, throwing a hissy fit about Richie Grant last year playing the single high safety. He's blowing coverages and things of that nature. Well, now you don't have to worry about that because now you have two interchangeable guys. I don't know if you guys seen earlier, they showed the little Matt Judon and Simmons kind of introducing themselves to the Falcons fans, and they asked the Simmons, who do you play like? He said, well, it's a guy on the Falcons that I kind of play like. I think everybody know number 3. So he's pretty much does the same similar things that Jesse Bates does. So I won't be surprised at times they might bring Jesse Bates on the blitz and have Simmons as a single high safety because you got guys that are interchangeable now. So I really feel like it's going to be hard to figure out what this defense is doing because you got so many guys that can do so many different things. So it's going to be very exotic on defense.
And we also got to take into account about Mike Hughes as well. And trust me, I'm not a big Mike Hughes fan, but when he played well, when he's healthy. All right, when he's fully healthy, he is a good number 2, number 3 guy. He was drafted to be a number 1 guy, and he showed flashes of that, but we already know no corner on his team is going to be number 1 than AJ Terrell. So
I agree with you 100%, Don. The only thing that bothers me about Mike Hughes, and I think he'll be a solid number 2 because he has the athleticism and stuff. When I look at corners, I look at their attitude. To me, when I watch Clark Phillips play, to me, he's just extremely aggressive. I think that's why I like him. Doesn't mean that he's better, but I just feel like if you play corner, that's one of those positions where you got to be mentally tough because people are going to go after you. We seen last year, Jeff Okuda, you kind of saw him as the games went on, he started to lose confidence, and that's where they kind of like stopped playing him as much. So I'm gonna watch the first couple games. I'm definitely Mike Hughes got a target on his back for me because I seen Phillips last year when he got his opportunities. he just seemed like he's just not scared. Like when you watch him play, you can just look at players' demeanor, and I think that's kind of what bothers me about Mike Hughes. His demeanor on the field to me, it's like I don't know if Clark Phillips just has a big personality, but when I watch him play, it just seems like he's that dude. He's a dog. He got that dog in him, and I just like players that have that dog. Like you can't be out there like a puppy. When you out there on the field, to me, even though Clark Phillips is not the biggest guy, plays bigger in his stature. And that's what bothers me about Mike Hughes. It's like you got to show me that you here. You got to be a lion out there on the field, especially at the cornerback position, because you out there by yourself. And if you're a lamb out there, you're gonna get 8. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You're gonna get 8 up. That's personally how I feel about it. So that's why
Well,
I'm going with it with the Clark Phillips thing.
question, dude. So what you're saying to Mike Hughes is, why you acting like a bia?
Hey, look, Mike said it best. I ain't trying to comfort nobody. I got love for Mike Hughes. He's gonna have to look.
I'm
He
a
gonna have to
huge,
prove it. He gonna have to prove it to me.
I am a huge Clark Phillips fan. Trust and believe. I want Clark
He
Hughes to
got
win
swagger,
too.
dude. That's
However,
what
it's
he
still,
got swagger.
yeah. Gray knows what he's doing with Clark Phillips. Gray also knows what he's doing with Hughes. So when
Yeah,
the time comes, and it's not an if, it's a when. Clark Phillips will surpass Mike Hughes. That will
yeah.
happen. So, and D Alford, I feel like he's going to be that third guy. And then I honestly think after this season, I don't think Mike Hughes is going to be on this roster. That's just my opinion.
Right.
So, because we're developing our DBs, and I
Yeah.
feel like just going into the second year under Jerry Gray as the assistant head coach, also working with the DBs, he's been doing a great job. So I trust everything that Jerry Gray is going to do with these guys.
I'm with you.
Well,
I'm 100% with you. Like I trust this coaching staff. So I told them it's something that they seeing out there that I'm not seeing. I'm seeing the little clips and stuff of Clark Phillips making plays at training camp. I'm getting excited, and I'm like, okay, where are my Mike Hughes clips? I need to see some clips to make me feel like okay. But I know, like I said in my short when I made my short about Mike Hughes is he's doing something at practice that they see that I'm not seeing. So I'm gonna trust their judgment of guys that's out there every day with these guys than just what I talked about last week about Justin Fields, the splash and the pan type plays. So I'm gonna trust and believe that Mike Hughes, is on the up and up. But guess what? I'm still got my eye on him. I'm watching him to make sure. Okay, Mike Hughes, you better be on your game, be on top of your game, because I'm telling you, it ain't even about me looking at him. Clark Phillips got his eye on that number 2 corner spot, so he say step up or get stepped on. Because I'm gonna take the spot if you don't want to do. If you don't want to step up, I'm gonna step up. So it's gonna be very interesting.
Yeah.
and with Clark Phillips, I always say it like this with him. I know people kind of look at like, oh, why isn't he the number 2 because his size? I look at 2 guys that I've watched coming up, and that's Antoine Winfield Jr. I mean Antoine Winfield Sr. And for Falcon fans, Kevin Mathis. Now, like you said, he has that dog factor where he's not scared of anything. So they're gonna bring him up just enough fine. He's gonna be fine.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not worried. I'm not worried about that at all. Um, I know a lot of fans are upset about that. Well, I ain't gonna say upset, but we're kind of shocked that Natron Brooks didn't make this team. What do y'all have to say about that? What do y'all have to say to those that may feel that way?
Really didn't show a lot as far as coverage is concerned. Like he's an elite corner when it comes down to his physicality, tackling well, and being in the right spot. Like he's gonna be in the right spot, but he still got to cover. So it's like one aspect of being a DB, he got that down. But in order to be uh, looked at and taken seriously as a 53 guy, you have to be consistent. Like it looked good in preseason, it looked very good, but There was some plays in coverage where he got toasted. He got roasted, toasted, and toasted. So let's keep that real.
I think the
Um,
Natron Brooks played well, but as Mike said, it's levels to it, and I just think that it was too many like the depth. It was too many guys in front of him because like you see that Kevin King didn't even make the 53, and to me Kevin King is better than Natron Brooks, but he's back on the practice squad, so he's one of those guys that played well. I mean, he did what I expected him to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like Mike said, he was in the right spot. He had his opportunity to make plays. And I would like to see him get more opportunities, but I think he's another guy, kind of like what Don was saying. He's in development still. I was impressed with him though because I remember him from last year on the playing in the preseason
Oh
game.
yeah.
Like, to me, he like night and day. Because last year he was the Lucas Dennis of the Falcons secondary. We kept looking up
Woo,
who made
Lord.
the mistake. It was Lucas Dennis this year. To me, last year, if you guys go back and watch preseason last year, Natron Brooks was one of them guys who was getting toasted. But then this year, I'm like, he looked like a totally different player. So that tells me that we doing something right in our development because he didn't even look, play well at all last year to me in the preseason. But this year, he looked like a totally different player. So that goes to show you when you put the work in and you got the right coaches and you do the right things off the field, it's possible. Because Natron Brooks, he flashed, in the preseason he flashed, but we also got to remember a lot of the games that he played, he was playing against backup guys too. So I really feel like he'll be a good depth piece. If something, for God forbid, some guys go down, hey, you got somebody that showed you something.
Mm-hmm.
and like you said, and you made the key point too. It's just confidence, man. And like you said, and what you said about having the right coaches, when you have the right blend of coaches, motivators, like I said, rah guys, guys that are willing to help develop young talent or young players. Like I said, you bring the best out of players. I mean, it's just as simple as that. And like I said, he was one of those. Like like you said, he played against backups, but there's plenty of guys in the NFL that came from that spot and still had the confidence of the coaches to help them elevate to that next level. So that's one of those guys you might want to definitely keep an eye out on. Is he going to be one of those special Falcon project players where they're going to try him out for next season? We don't
Just,
know.
I think the thing too to look at, if you look at the guy that the Falcons brought back, especially on the defense side of the ball, the D'Angelo, Malone, uh, Natron Brooks, like these guys have ability that you can work with. So, but like if the Falcons defensive line do what I think that they can do, or the front seven can do what they can do. Having a guy like Natron Brooks, you can kind of hide his deficiencies a little bit because you got two special safeties behind him, so he'll be able to play a lot more aggressive. So his skill set would probably be more suitable than a guy, that we could. So it's like I think that's the thing too. You got to look at these guys. If the safeties do what they do, they stay healthy. The front seven they do what they do, and be an elite group. Well, guys like Nature and Brooks, those guys are going to develop a whole lot faster than what, and they're going to, and not so much develop faster, but I think they're going to gain confidence, which is going to lead to better play.
And that's the thing. That's the thing, especially with me. Like I said, you can have all the talent in the world, but if you as a player don't have that motivation,
Mm-hmm.
or you don't necessarily have that environment around you, talent can only get you so far.
Mm-hmm.
It is
Yep.
what it is. But shoot, damn, we already at an hour. Shit, but that hour flew by fast.
Yeah.
Um, um, like I said, we're gonna be on here for about another 15. So we're gonna start doing questions here, Q&A style. MJL was putting this here earlier. He said, for football and scheme heads, what coverage do y'all see us playing the most? I see a lot of cover two, man in Tampa 2.
Nah, absolutely not. They're not gonna play a lot of cover two. You got too many guys that are very good in man with just Justin Simmons, Jesse Bates, AJ Terrell. Those guys play a lot. They play great in man coverage. So you're gonna see some cover two. You're gonna see some of those concepts, but you wasting those two safeties if you playing too much cover two because those guys can move around. Like Jesse Bates and Justin Simmons, those guys can move. I don't want them in one spot. I want them to kind of play like Troy Polamalu and let those guys roam around a little bit and do their thing. Because one thing you don't want to do with ball hawks is limit them to a space.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as far as that question, I think this defense just gonna be one thing: see ball, get ball.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
um, a lot of cover two, man, in Tampa 2. You kind of don't see it that often. I ain't gonna say. I'm gonna say it's not that normalized in a 3-4 base, but by having a lot of defensive linemen, they've already that the way that they constructed the defense, it's gonna be a lot of pressure. See ball, get ball, and I think with the luxury of having safeties that are rovers by nature, and you have a couple of them that are like really good playmakers, ball hawks, you can take that chance to having a lot of guys really trying to rush and get the quarterback. So this goes back to the conversation where we said that Justin Simmons was a luxury pickup. The way the defense is constructed tells you exactly that. So the identity of this defense and what they're going to want to do is get to the damn quarterback, get to the line of scrimmage, attack the football. Okay. Yeah.
Y'all called on me.
Yeah, I'm about to say, man, what you got on that, man?
Say that again. I'm sorry. I had to run out the room for a second.
You had
I
to go get a,
apologize.
you had to go get a Steakums dinner.
No, I heard some dog. I heard dogs barking outside, so I was trying to make sure I'm not trying to break my stuff.
Nah, you good. So basically, MJ asked, do you think there'll be a lot of cover two in Tampa 2 for the Falcons this season?
In certain situations, yeah. Like we're gonna safeties, they're gonna be out there playing zone. However, you don't want to, like what Matt Mike said earlier. Let those guys. They're veterans. They all pro safeties for a reason. Allow them to do what they need to do. All right.
Mm-hmm. Steph Curry, that thing. You let Steph Curry shoot them, and that's what you do with your safety. When you got safety like that, you let them do their thing.
And especially, with our front sevens, I predict they're going to be deadly. So you really don't have to be in zone that much. Just play man.
Mm-hmm.
Because I ain't no quarterback going to be in the pocket for 8 seconds making passes. No, you going to be lucky to get 3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And the thing too with man is when you in zone, man. When you in zone, you like when quarterbacks scramble, you're subjected to a certain side. You know what I'm saying? Inside, outside. And when you're in man, you can undercut a lot of those that may not be like you can't get to in zone. So it's like I said, when you play in zone, it's inside or outside. Like that's what you're playing. When you're a man, you can kind of freestyle.
Exactly.
I say do whatever's best for the players. At the end of the day, when these players talked about, taking suggestions, these guys know what they do best. And like Kay said, it's gonna really be about getting the ball, taking the ball away. That's what it's really gonna be about. That's why I really feel like this team, like last year we had a top 10 defense. I think this team will be a top 10 defense as well. But I'm not really concerned about that. I'm more concerned about taking the ball away. If you take the ball away, you give your offense more opportunities, you know. So at the end of the day, it's getting stops when we need them. What we said over the last couple of years, can you get a stop when you need it most? That's what makes good defense great. When the game is on the line, can you get a stop? Can you take the ball away? And I think that's the biggest difference we're going to see with the big time playmakers we brought in, the Jesse Bates, the Simmons, the Judons, those guys during the biggest pressure moments in the game. That's what flips games in your favor.
Mm-hmm.
See ball, get ball. Ain't nothing more to be said about that. Still waiting on some damn questions. I see the chat that got hijacked about Justin Fields versus Desmond Ritter again. We know who started that. I'm like, Lord have mercy. I've seen two questions in the last 40 minutes about the subject at hand. What are we doing here? But since we don't have any more questions, we're gonna go ahead and wind it down. I'm gonna let the fellas. This Southside said it's Tank's fault. Y'all should have known that was the whole agenda right there. I don't
We
even know
did the
why
same thing
y'all.
for the last 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
I don't know why y'all entertained that. I don't know why y'all entertained that because you already knew it was coming. But we got a question here. It said, do y'all think we should add another wide receiver?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Kind
Kirk
of
does
going,
most of it. Go ahead. Go.
kind of looking at, like you said, looking at it. You also have three. You also have four running backs that are crucial to the passing game too. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily think they're going to add another wide receiver, especially if they're
Yeah.
going to be using Bijan in the passing game, as well as, from what I'm hearing, Tyler Algier is about to be a critical part
Yep.
in this passing game too. You got Avery Williams, who's another guy who could be a critical part in the passing game as well. So maybe Avery Williams is that sixth wide receiver that you don't know about. We're gonna find out. But adding a wide receiver, nah. Running back's about to be too crucial to this pass game.
That's where he does most of his damage. Kirk Cousins. He does most of his damage in the middle of the field and underneath. So, he's very consistent throwing the ball deep. But like most quarterbacks don't get, more than 4 to 5 shots downfield each game. So they're gonna do most of their damage underneath. So you don't necessarily need a lot of wide receiver. You just need pass catchers, and that's something that Raheem talked about. He and Zach, they want pass catchers. They don't want guys just all right at specific position. So don't look at these positions. Falcons just need guys in this offense, because this offense is designed to run after the catch. So whoever can do that. I mean, you look at Ray McLeod, like that's what he does best. You know what I'm saying? These guys, they catch the ball, they run well. So that's what this Falcons niggas focus on, which leads to explosive plays.
And you got a lot of you have a multitude of speed receivers that can get downfield to clear out the middle, to clear out the flats.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going, like you say, it's going to be a 3-level passing offense.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Coach. Say I can see Bijan flexed out a receiver and Tyler in the backfield. Oh, you're gonna definitely see
Oh
that.
yeah. Oh yes.
You're gonna
Be a lot of motion there.
you probably gonna see some plays where they got Bijan in the backfield and Avery Williams flexed out. Jace McClellan. Of course, you're gonna see Kyle Pitts flexed out. Let me see. Hold on. I saw a question. Dre Murphy here said, "Do you think Kyle Pitts will be the next Falcon to get paid?
That's
Depends on
tough
how he
right
play.
there.
That's gonna be tough, but it's gonna be depending on his season.
Yeah, it's gonna be how he depends on how he plays. I expect him to have a good season because last time we seen him with a consistent quarterback, we know what he did in his rookie season. So we seen in these joint practices, we seen that in these practices where we were just our first team versus our offense first team versus the defense first team, where Kirk Cousins been looking to get the ball to. Between Kyle Pitts and Drake London, those been the guys that he's been focusing on. So we know what he's going he's going to focus on getting those guys the ball, and he's not going to be afraid to put the ball in an area, not throw it out of bounds, not throw it, as Mike say, like Yao Ming is out there on the field. Put it in a place where those guys can go up and make a play. He's not afraid to throw the ball in tight windows. So I think that that's going to be the biggest difference that we're going to notice this year on offense with the quarterback play, is that he's going to use Drake London and Kyle Pitts size. He's going to throw the ball up and say, "Go make a play." Like he's already been fussing at Kyle Pitts about run every route fast. Have an urgency about yourself. And that's one thing that Julio Jones, when he was here, he always talked about. When he was mentoring the young receivers, is always run your routes as fast as possible. Keep the defense off balance. You don't want to tip off the defender of what type of route you're running by how fast, the urgency in your route. So I really feel like Kyle Pitts is going to be good because guess what? He has Kirk Cousins pushing him. So when you got that veteran pushing him, pushing you, telling you what to do, that only brings the best out of the players around you. A lot of people talk about the greats like Michael Jordan and all these different guys being hard on their teammates. Sometimes being hard on your teammates bring the best out of you. Think about it. Kyle Pitts, he did the best with Matt Ryan, and we know Matt Ryan would cuss cuss our guys out in a minute if they weren't doing what they were supposed to do. He was a nice guy, but on the field, we heard when that mic got dropped what he told Julio Jones: "Get what set." So I expect the same thing out of Kirk Cousins this year, as I expect him to be that field general and get these guys in position to make plays. So I expect Kyle Pitts to have a big season.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. We're gonna go ahead and get up on out of here, y'all. Like I said, man, this is a very productive show today. Um, as the title said, the Atlanta Falcons roster is set. Got about a week till the season start. Hey, man, it's balls to the wall from here. So, like I said, continue to support the heavy hitters live. We hitting the next goal of 800. We are 34 away from that. Um, it's gonna be a fun season over here, y'all. So, hey, look, make sure you go ahead and show some love for Mad Mike Sports. Um, he's about to hit a milestone here on the 10K side of the game. We got Drew here.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. So,
What's up?
it's actually my channel birthday. So it's actually Mad Mike Sports channel's birthday. So everybody that always supported the boy, truly appreciate it. Uh, it's been exactly about 5 years. So close to 5 years. Yeah, it's been 5 years now. Um, so appreciate it, man. Everybody for continuously supporting me, even in the beginning when I was absolutely god awful. I could barely put two sentences together. So now you can't get me to shut up. Especially with little tanky poo down there. I don't know what's
Oh
wrong with
wow.
that boy.
Oh
Um,
okay.
but um, I'm gonna what I'm gonna do all season is I'm really gonna focus on speaking a little bit more on quarterbacks. Definitely going to continue to do what I do with the Falcons, but I'm going to focus on, a little bit more of my quarterback takes, and that means everybody. Okay, little tanky poo. Okay, I'm not going to leave Justin Hawk Tour Fields out. I'm not going to leave him out. I'm going to do his videos too. I'm going to do videos with him too. Okay, so if you like the quarterback position, man, Mike Sports is the way, is where you need to be. even in the college game. We're gonna do some Georgia Tech over here. We're gonna do some
Michigan
we're
and
gonna do some
Auburn.
Michigan stuff. We're gonna Michigan and Auburn. Like we're gonna have all that over here. So look, man, these you need to be following us. Okay, I told you we not just Atlanta Falcons. We are creators.
Oh man, exactly. So yeah, like you said, support. Like I said, go ahead and if you hit support Mad Mike Sports, Jude Talk Sports. Like I said,
You
Jude's
know.
all he's almost to the 3K side of the game.
Mhm.
I
Just
know
leave the
y'all.
comments, y'all. Leave the comments. Y'all got the comment. If y'all want the video, go on Jude Talk Sports, Mad Mike Sports 6 Man, and leave a freaking comment. Okay, you can't do the videos if y'all don't comment.
Yeah, I know y'all asses ain't following me for shit, so I'm not even gonna say nothing.
Dude.
But
It's,
I told Mike, I told you they don't like me like that, man. But it's all good though. It's all good. Like you said, you got like you said, in order for Mike and Jude and Don to be loved, you gotta you gotta have a guy that nobody likes, and that's me. So I
oh, you
sat
saying you
there.
Debo, huh?
No, 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 no. I'm the uninterested kid that's sitting at the table by himself.
Shit,
You
that's
know that.
me. Shit.
Nah, you interested. You got the food, okay?
You
You
got the
No,
interested.
food.
I be one people don't. I don't want nobody sitting by me asking for shit. 'Cause they know they gonna get stuck.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so like I said, man, we appreciate y'all, man. So until next time, we ain't here to play.
Ooh, no.
We here to stay.
Ooh, yeah. Dig it.
You ain't gotta go home.
But you got to get the hell up out of here.
And Live Die Fast said
Peace.
I'm the corny one, but anytime I come at him, he runs away. So hey,
Mm-hmm.
hey,
Yeah.
so if you run away from somebody that's corny, that says a lot more about you than
You
me.
acting like a yeah.
Business. Deuces.